The BLT. The BLT is constructed under 2 minutes total. The bacon is seared crisp at extremely high heat. The inside remains loaded with fresh, cold tomatoes and crisp lettuce. The internal temperature never exceeds room temperature. It is called a classic in America because the combination delivers maximum flavor from simple ingredients without heat altering the fresh texture. Most diners will serve it, but won't reinvent it. Ordering a BLT with extra mayo is a reliable way to make a server respect your life choices. Grilled cheese. A proper grilled cheese reaches an internal melting point of 150 degrees Fahrenheit. The outside bread is buttered and browned to perfection. The inside is gooey, stretchy, and hot, but not scorched. Most comfort food lovers consider cheddar or American the minimum acceptable cheese for a quality bite. The Maillard reaction, the chemical process that creates the golden crust, requires surface heat above 280 degrees. The crunchy crust and the molten interior exist simultaneously because heat melts the cheese slowly between dense slices of bread. A properly grilled cheese is not just a snack. It is precisely cooked to a specific temperature that preserves moisture and comfort that higher heat destroys permanently. Italian sub. Italian sub is the most ordered deli sandwich in the world, and every local deli owner will tell you it is correct. Internal temperature of fresh sliced cold cuts at room temperature. The center is layered with cured meats, provolone, and crisp lettuce, slightly dressed with oil and vinegar. The fats have begun to temper, releasing rich flavor into the bread. The ingredients are balanced enough to be flavorful, but not yet soggy from overdressing. When a sandwich shop asks how you want your sub and you say everything on it, the counter takes you seriously. When you say plain, the kitchen sends out whichever roll has been sitting longest. This is not a secret. Croque monsieur. Croque monsieur reaches 160 degrees internally under the broiler. The melted Gruyere center is bubbling, and the ham and bread are golden and toasted throughout. For rich artisan breads with layers of bechamel, like brioche, a hot oven bake is essential because the extra heat melts the cheese entirely, distributing flavor through the entire sandwich. This is why some experienced food lovers order classic French bistro versions rather than a simple grilled ham and cheese. The rules about layering are general guidelines. The exception is always the quality of the ham and the specific piece of cheese on the plate. Philly cheesesteak. The Philly cheesesteak was invented in 1930 by Pat Olivieri, a hot dog vendor in South Philadelphia who threw beef scraps on his grill one afternoon and put them in a bread roll. A cab driver smelled it, asked for one, and told him to sell that instead. Pat did. The cheese came later. The correct cheese is Cheese Whiz, not provolone, not American. Locals will tell you this immediately and with conviction. The roll must be from Amorosa's Bakery. The beef must be shaved thin. Every cheesesteak sold outside Philadelphia is an approximation. Some are good, none are correct. Club sandwich. The club sandwich was invented at a private gambling club in Saratoga Springs, New York, in the late 1800s. The exact origin is disputed, but the format is not. 2 layers of toasted bread with turkey, bacon, lettuce, tomato, and mayonnaise, held together with toothpicks and cut into triangles. The toothpick is structural, not decorative. Without it, the second layer of bread slides immediately. The club sandwich became the default hotel room service sandwich across America because it photographs well, travels well, and requires no utensils. A gambling club snack became the defining American hotel food experience for over a century. Cubano sandwich. The Cuban sandwich was not invented in Cuba. It was invented in the cigar factories of Tampa and Key West in the 1880s by Cuban workers who needed a filling portable lunch. Miami adopted it, pressed it flatter, and made it famous globally. The construction is specific: Cuban bread, roasted pork, ham, Swiss cheese, yellow mustard, and pickles. No mayo, no lettuce, no tomato. The sandwich is pressed in a plancha until the bread is crisp and the cheese is completely melted into the meat. Tampa adds salami. Miami considers this an error. The argument is ongoing and will not be resolved. The REUBEN. The REUBEN is corned beef, Swiss cheese, sauerkraut, and Russian dressing grilled between rye bread until the cheese melts and the bread crisps. Its origin is disputed between a Nebraska grocer named Reuben Kulikovsky in the 1920s and a New York deli owner named Arnold Reuben decades earlier. Both stories involve a late-night card game and a hungry player who wanted something substantial. The combination of hot meat, melted cheese, tangy sauerkraut, and crisp grilled rye creates a sandwich that requires a fork despite being a sandwich. Every Jewish deli in America serves a version. None of them agree on who deserves cred for inventing it. Banh mi. Banh mi exists entirely because of French colonialism. France colonized Vietnam in the mid-1800s and introduced the baguette. Vietnamese bakers adapted it using rice flour, creating a lighter, crispier version. After France left, Vietnamese immigrants brought banh mi to the United States and Australia, where it became one of the most celebrated street foods in both countries. The combination of French bread, pickled vegetables, fresh herbs, and chili created something neither French nor Vietnamese had ever made before. Colonialism accidentally produced one of the greatest sandwiches in human history. Lobster roll. Lobster rolls were invented in 1929 at Perry's Restaurant in Milford, Connecticut, not Maine. Maine took the concept, perfected it, and now owns it culturally to the point where the origin story is rarely mentioned. The Maine version is cold lobster meat briefly dressed in mayonnaise, served in a split-top hot dog bun toasted in butter. The Connecticut version is warm lobster and melted butter. Both states consider the other version a mistake. Maine produces over 100 million pounds of lobster annually. The same crustacean that colonial servants complained about eating too often now sells for $40 a roll on the harbor. Po' boy. The po' boy was invented in 1929 by Clovis and Benjamin Martin, New Orleans restaurant owners who fed striking streetcar workers for free during a labor dispute. When a striker walked in, workers reportedly said, "Here comes another poor boy," and the name stuck. The bread is French bread baked specifically for New Orleans humidity, producing a crisp exterior and a cotton-soft interior that no other bread replicates. The shrimp version packs fried Gulf shrimp into the full length of the loaf with lettuce, tomato, pickles, and remoulade. Dressed means everything on it. Undressed means you made a mistake. Meatball sub. The meatball sub was invented in Italian-American delis in the northeastern United States in the early 20th century. Italian immigrants who made traditional polpette, small meatballs in tomato sauce, adapted the format for American sandwich culture by placing the meatballs in a hoagie roll and smothering everything in marinara and melted provolone. Subway made the meatball marinara their best-selling sandwich globally for multiple years running. A sandwich that originated in New York Italian delis became the most ordered item at a chain operating in over 100 countries. The meatball sub is now one of the most recognized sandwiches on Earth. Monte Cristo. The Monte Cristo is a ham and cheese sandwich dipped in egg batter and fried like French toast, served with powdered sugar and raspberry jam for dipping. It appeared on American restaurant menus in the 1960s as a variation on the French croque monsieur, adapted for American tastes. Disneyland's Blue Bayou restaurant served a version that became so famous it attracted customers who came specifically for the sandwich and stayed for the theme park. The combination of savory ham, melted Swiss cheese, fried egg batter, and sweet jam creates a flavor profile that operates simultaneously as breakfast, lunch, and dessert. Americans who encounter it for the first time are unsure how to categorize it. Tuna melt. The tuna melt is canned tuna mixed with mayonnaise, placed on bread with cheese and grilled until the cheese melts. It became a diner staple in the mid-20th century when canned tuna became affordable and widespread. The combination of cold tuna salad warmed against melted cheese creates a temperature contrast that neither ingredient produces independently. Patty melts and tuna melts share the same griddled format but entirely different identities. Tuna melt customers are intensely loyal to specific preparations. The ratio of tuna to mayonnaise is a personal matter that diner cooks learn not to debate with regulars.